What's up guys, it's Ryan here. Today I'm here with the Galaxy S4 GT-I9506 or Snapdragon 800 variant of the Galaxy S4, and this is also running the Lineage OS, and this is the overview of Lineage OS and also how to install Lineage OS. Now if you haven't known, Lineage OS is actually the successor of CyanogenMod. CyanogenMod now is dead. It was like in December 25th and stuff. It was great Christmas, but also simultaneously a terrible Christmas, thanks to the death of CyanogenMod, which made me very sad, because CyanogenMod was actually kind of a reason, or like the background stuff, of me getting interested in Android stuff, but that was, CyanogenMod is now dead. Steve Condick just laid off everyone, but now, the successor, Lineage OS, is here. Now it's a little too bright. That's good. You can clearly see Lineage OS in there, on top. Lineage OS. Let's get a little closer. See Lineage OS updates. Lineage OS version 14.1. You can see this beautiful logo. I actually like the logo. The Lineage OS logo. I love it actually. I do think it looks quite nice. Even better than CyanogenMod if you ask me. Also, this is Android 7.1.1, Lineage OS version 14.1. So you can go there. You can see Android Nougat with Easter egg. So if you swipe down, you can get, like fish, like you can grow cats and stuff, which I'm not sure if I'm a fan of. You can see I have one there. Actually, on my tablet, I have like lots of cats, but I don't really see point in that. You can also see there's an ambient display on this build. So let's lay it down there, and you can also wave your hand over it. You can see it pops up there. Let's actually do it here. Ooh. See, I swipe my hand and it shows up with your latest notifications in black and white. Also time and your date. Do it again. Sometimes it's a little finicky, but most of the time it works. You can see it's stupidly smooth. Android 7.1.1 is probably the smoothest version of Android since Android 4.4 KitKat, which also was really smooth. But this is taking things up a notch. It's super stable and smooth. Basically, almost no lags here. Not even almost. There's pretty much no lag in this ROM. You can see swiping down brings you all the quick toggles, Wi-Fi, SIM card, basically mobile data, battery life, do not disturb, and flashlight, and orientation. And by the way, orientation change, you can flip the device upside down, and also the lock screen as well, which I think is absolutely hilarious and pretty useless. But there's that. Also, you can expand the toggles like so. It also brings your brightness toggle. Boom, brightness, which is actually pretty handy. I use all the time. Also, you can tap on that to go to the calendar. And your guest mode, edit the quick toggles, and go to settings. And in settings, it's basically pretty much the same as 7.0. You can see all the settings, basic settings. By the way, there's no CyanogenMod themes, which I'm very sad about. Hopefully that will get added in the later version of Lineage OS, or even Android 8, version 8. You can see it's very nice. Below all the settings, there's like specific stuff like my Wi-Fi name, disabled, the amount of data that's used, the adaptive brightness is on, all apps allowed to send, all these kind of stuff, like storage, 21.22 gigabytes. That's really nice. Also, Android 7.1.1. Very nice. Also very smooth, as I said. Now, the things have changed in this build of Android 7.1.1 is the display. So you go to display, there's not much that's changed, except for this one. The display size is changed. So you can actually change the DPI value without actually changing the DPI. But this is actually pretty much changing the DPI, which is actually pretty cool. So go to large, Basically make it super huge, which I'm not a fan of, but you might be. Basically for folks with bad eyesight, which I'm not. I have good eyesight. Go to the smallest, and that's like really small, like ludicrously small. I actually prefer the middle one. The middle one with it's just small. It's very usable. This one is very nice. By the way, my icons are gone. Icon is gone there, which is weird. Sad back. And that's actually pretty much it. Like storage is pretty much identical here. Buttons, you can actually customize a button. You can actually add soft keys. Home button will still work, but the backlight, you can see they're all gone in favor of soft keys. I actually like soft keys, but having hardware button there just makes me want to go to hardware buttons instead of having some inconsistency with both hardware and soft keys. But actually, if all things were equal, I would probably go with soft keys. You can see just a stock Android layout. But of course, having soft keys here does eat up some of the screen real estate, which is not a good thing in my opinion. It's definitely not worth it on something like the Galaxy S4, but on big devices like, say, the Moto X Pure Edition, yeah, it's worth it. Also, double tap actions. Let's say double tap to launch the camera. Wait. Maybe that's a bug. Actually, you can launch camera in several ways. First, you can just tap the camera button right there. You just take a picture. Pretty nice and quick. But also, there is an alternate camera method. Double press the power button here, and bam, it's like super quick. Oh damn. Say I have a photographic moment here. That's really quick. You can have the display off and still get to the camera. It's a little bit slow, but it's doable. And actually that's about it. That's a lot of the major changes in Android 7.0. Of course, there's a lot of under the hood stuff, but that's actually it about the Lineage OS. It's basically like a custom version, a little bit of a custom version of stock Android 7.1.1, which is a great addition for a lot of devices that won't get official Android 7.1.1. Like this Galaxy S4, it won't be getting, of course, any updates further. The 5.0, Android 5.0 Lollipop was the peak that Samsung provided, but it's very, very fortunate that we'll be able to get 7.1.1 on Android on this device, which is very nice. Also, it's very stable for the most part, despite this being an official version. It's very stable. I haven't encountered any lags or any bugs on this Galaxy S4 running Lineage OS, so I think it's good to go to install. Now, you might be like, hey Ryan, how to install this thing? I'm going to show you right now. So go to the Lineage OS site and download the one for the GT-I9506 if you're rocking the Galaxy S4 with Snapdragon 800 processor. And basically turn off your device. Also grab the GApps, by the way. I recommend OpenGApps from OpenGApps, like the website thing. It's actually a very awesome website for grabbing GApps. I think it's the best one so far. And download the ROM and download the GApps and put it on the device. And basically hold volume up, home button, and power at the same time. I don't know if you can see it, but it'll say in the blue text, recovery booting. You can see we booted right to torp recovery. I actually do recommend installing torp recovery. So go to wipe. Actually, before that, go backup and back up all of your data and whatnot, so you won't lose it. And once it successfully backs up, it'll be in the restore tab. And go to wipe, go to advanced wipe, and go choose Dalvik cache, system, data, and cache. And wipe that. Don't factory reset that will not do it. Just go to Wipe, Advanced Wipe, and go to Delve Cache, System, Data, and Cache, and wipe it, and go to Install, and go to Download folder, and get to Download directory basically, and select Lineage OS, tap on that, and go to App More Zips, and go to Android 7.1, OpenGApps, Pico, or pretty much any other versions, and just confirm Flash and reboot, and you will be enjoying an awesome Android 7.1.1 life on your Galaxy S4 GT-I9506. And that's about it for my video. If you guys enjoyed my video, give me a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely be sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up again. Anyway guys, that's about it. Peace out. Also, by the way, if you have more questions, leave it down in the comments. Peace out.